Welcome to the unexpected detour, where life doesn't always follow the map we imagined. I'm your host, Francis Hammond. This is a space for the pauses, the pivots, the moments that changed everything. Even when we didn't understand them at the time, here, we honor the detours, the quiet ones, the painful ones, the ones that reshaped us, because getting rerouted doesn't mean you're lost. Sometimes the road you didn't choose is the one that leads you home. So breathe, settle in, and walk with me. This is the unexpected detour.
This is part 2 of At the Core, titled Courage. Courage is often misunderstood. We are taught to recognize courage when it is loud, when it announces itself, when it takes up space, when it looks decisive and fearless. But most courage does not look like that. Most courage is quiet. It happens internally, long before anyone else sees it. It happens in moments no one applauds. Courage is not being unafraid. It is about being honest when fear is present and choosing not to let fear make the decisions. Courage begins when avoidance ends. It shows up when you stop postponing a truth you already know, when you stop negotiating with what keeps unsettling you, when you stop calling discomfort a sign to retreat instead of a signal to pay attention. Courage does not rush. It asks you to stay present long enough to hear what your life is asking of you now. One of the hardest truths about courage is that it often costs you comfort. Comfort keeps things unfamiliar. Comfort changes things. Comfort says, this is easier. Courage asks, is this honest? And honesty can be expensive. Courage is required anytime you are asked to change how you show up, how you respond, how you protect yourself, how you tell the truth. Courage threatens patterns that once kept you safe. Even unhealthy patterns can feel protective when they are familiar. That's why courage feels so personal. What takes courage for you may not look brave to anyone else. But courage is not measured by how it looks, it's measured by alignment. There is a difference between courage and force. Force tries to control outcomes. Courage focuses on integrity. Force pushes past limits. Courage respects them. Force says, I'll make this work no matter what. Courage says, I will do what is mine to do, and I will stop where my responsibility ends. Courage does not chase, it does not beg, it does not manipulate clarity from places that thrive on confusion. Courage moves deliberately. Some of the bravest acts are invisible. Choosing not to explain yourself again, choosing rest instead of reaction, choosing to leave quietly instead of proving a point, choosing boundaries without hostility, choosing yourself without making someone else the villain. Courage does not need drama to be real. There are moments when courage asks you to speak, and there are moments when courage asks you to be silent. Knowing the difference requires self-trust. Courage grows when you begin to listen to yourself without immediately second guessing what you hear. When you stop outsourcing your knowing, when you stop waiting for permission to honor what your body, your spirit, and your discernment have already made clear. Avoiding courage has consequences. When we don't act where we should, resentment builds. When we stay silent too long, our bodies carry what our voices are meant to release. When we keep choosing comfort over truth, we slowly disconnect ourselves from ourselves. Courage is not here to punish you. It arrives to bring you back. Courage and boundaries are deeply connected. A boundary is not a wall, it's a line of clarity. Boundaries require courage because they change how people access you. They reveal who was benefiting from your lack of limits. They disappoint those who are comfortable with you overextended. Courage says, I can love you and still say no. I can care and still choose myself. I can be kind without being available. Courage does not always come with reassurance. Often, courage requires movement before certainty arrives. We may not feel ready. We may not feel confident. We may not feel supported. Courage does not wait for the feeling to change. It acts in alignment with what you know. Faith and courage walk together. Faith trusts God. Courage moves your feet. Faith without courage can become passive waiting. Courage without faith can become reckless striving. Together, they create balance and then you act. Some of the strongest courage is found in ordinary persistence, choosing sobriety again today, telling the truth in therapy, leaving environments that slowly erode you, forgiving without reconciling, starting over quietly. Courage does not require an audience, it requires honesty. Courage gives something back. It gives clarity, it gives self respect, it gives peace that does not depend on approval. Courage does not guarantee outcomes, but it guarantees alignment. And alignment brings a steadiness that fear cannot offer. Courage is not about becoming fearless, it's about choosing what matters more than fear. It is about acting where your voice still belongs, where your healing still matters, where your truth still requires your participation. You do not have to do everything at once. You only have to do the next best thing.
As we come to the end of today's journey, remember this. You are not behind, you are not broken, and you are not walking alone. Every step you've taken, even the ones that felt uncertain, has been shaping something meaningful. Let yourself rest in what you heard today. Carry only what serves you, leave the rest gently behind. And when the road feels unclear again, trust that clarity often arrives quietly. One breath, one choice, one moment at a time. Thank you for walking this stretch of the road with me. Until next time.